Okay. I guess I have to turn the microphone.
You got to turn the microphone.
That was the first complaint.
No more pictures with the lens cap on. We received a viewer complaint.
Was something showing?
I think
I'm sorry. I'm in this chair.
Thank
it's hard for me to control what I'm wearing these loose shorts. Yeah. So I don't know.
No, it wasn't that low.
Okay.
It was
good.
actually
All right. Good.
And I have to double check this.
All right.
An email saying that the lamp behind your head is crooked.
It is crooked.
It's the lampshade. Well, wait. If you tilt your head one way.
No. Here. Let me fix it.
Can you fix it there?
There.
Oh, now you can't even see the lamp.
Yeah, see, now it's all fixed.
No, let me fix the lamp.
Okay.
Hold the show. Here, tell people what's coming up today.
All right. Well, of course, we're going to have news coming up here in just a little bit. We'll also talk with Rich Perlberg with the Less You Know, chatting about the upcoming. Let's see. How's that? Is it not? It's not really straight. It's better, but it's not.
Better. That's
about as good as
going to get
go.
Today. Yeah, it's on a carpet floor.
Well, I will say
stop
this.
Backing into it, will you?
No, I will say this. The reason why it's crooked is because when I go to, I just grab it by the lampshade and pull it down so I can turn it on. And I kind of just, I'm done with you.
You know what you need is a helmet lamp.
Oh,
like those beer helmets that you can
a beer helmet minor light.
Yeah,
all right, yeah. Okay,
one that has one of those flexible things so you can flex it down to your like that, only on your head.
Right, I've got this light.
Yeah. Whoa, that's bright.
Which is pretty bright.
Is it bendable?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just put that on your head.
Okay.
You can look like a minion or something from a Disney flick. All right, so now that we've got that straightened out.
Oh, thank God.
We're talking to Rich today, the Less You Know. We're going to go to the Facebook page and see if we got a winner last night. I had to throw out a last-minute clue. We did not get a winner as of about 5:45 this morning.
All right, and of course, a pair of tickets to go see Guys and Dolls, Brighton Musical Theater on the line.
Yes, for the Brighton Center for the Performing Arts. Great shows, as always, there. Our major sponsor today is Jordan Genso. He's the official Giggle Realtor. Buy, sell, see Jordan. We'll have more coming up on that, and a Jorbit, too.
Yeah.
Plus your 2-cent history lesson. First, though, a look at local news, brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. Northbound US 23 was shut down for several hours Wednesday afternoon in Green Oak Township following a crash involving a semi-truck and a car. Happened about 2 in the afternoon. Michigan State Police say rescue crews were called to northbound US 23 at Silver Lake Road for a reported crash. Upon arrival, officers found a semi-truck had rear-ended a passenger vehicle, causing it to flip over. Despite that, there were no serious injuries reported, but due to the crash investigation, the freeway was closed for several hours. Michigan State Police assisted Green Oak Township Police in the investigation at the scene. The Communications Security Act, led by Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, was approved by the House Committee on Energy and Commerce Wednesday afternoon with bipartisan support. The bill would permanently authorize the Communications Security, Reliability, and Interoperability Council, the CSRIC, which brings together industry, government, and civil society experts to advise the Federal Communications Commission on communication security issues. It's now under consideration by the full House. Slotkin called the bill an important step towards keeping critical communications like 911 calls secure and noted the importance of such communications in last month's shootings on the MSU campus, saying that swift communications saved lives that day. And, quote, "We can keep these systems secure by passing this bill and getting the FCC the expertise it needed." The CSRIC has existed in various forms for nearly 3 decades as an advisory body chartered by the FCC chair. The Communications Security Act would permanently authorize the council's work in federal statute. And nearly 200 people gathered at Crystal Gardens Wednesday to celebrate the work of Livingston County United Way and its commitment to improving the community. Ann Rennie, Executive Director of the United Way, had the honor to present the 2022 Volunteer of the Year Awards. Mariana Rossi, an exchange student from Brazil, was given the Young Person of Distinction Award. The Fowlerville High School Interact Club was given the Youth Organization of the Year Award. Haley Trombley, Livingston County Catholic Charities, earned the Charles W. Itzel Volunteer of the Award. Carol Damon, Community Volunteer, won the Donald Epley Lifetime Service Award, and Michigan Rod Products won the Randy Rudisil Business of the Year Award. You'll find complete details on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton, Brighton's preeminent jewelry store with a commitment to customer service, community involvement, honesty, professionalism, and of course, exquisite merchandise. Matter of fact, the Binkleys, along with Lindsay, are in Florida shopping right now for more beautiful diamonds and jewelry to bring back to the store in downtown Brighton. They pride themselves on offering something for everyone. They recognize that community commitment and service is their purpose. Unique, exceptional jewelry, whether you want something redesigned, reimagined, fixed, or custom designs from Simon G. or Zagani, they have you covered at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
You know, much like Murphy's Family Auto, they have the whole shebang over there. I mean, I don't think
it doesn't say.
I don't think they call it that.
They don't know. You don't walk in and ask for the whole shebang.
No, I'm just saying. But like you said, all the different things they can do: repairs, they can reimagine your jewelry, they can just bring you a brand new piece of quality jewelry.
Let's say you were trying to repair your car on your own, and you got your ring caught on something inside the engine and needed to get it fixed. Cooper and Binkley Jewelers could take care of your ring. Murphy's Family Auto would take care of your car.
You probably don't want to make that mistake of bringing your car over to Cooper and Binkley and dropping your ring off at Murphy's. I mean, I don't.
How many pills are left in that little bottle of yours? Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton, online at cooperandbinkleyjewelers.com. So as of earlier this morning, we did not have a winner in our trivia question from last night.
So we didn't have a winner the night before. And so carried it over, new question.
Right.
Brought to you by our OG sponsor, Firehouse Doors. Give them a call. 810-599-7480, celebrating 25 years in Livingston County.
Yes. Unparalleled service and products. Here's our question. When it comes to the home, 20% of couples, so that's 1 out of every 5 couples, fight about this. Of course, finances was a popular guess, but I think that's probably more than 20%.
Exactly.
The way the TP goes.
Although I've given up fighting on the finances.
On the finances?
I just,
Just throwing the
I hauled up the white flag a long time
ago. Our accountant's saying the same thing at Giggle. The temperature on the thermostat, very popular guess. Again, probably more than 1 in 5.
Right.
Maybe not a fisticuffs kind of thing or a throwdown or
but a disagreement.
Yes.
An ongoing disagreement.
The toilet seat, the toilet paper, popular
Too
guesses.
obvious, though.
Leaving lights on in a room.
Right.
Were you born in a barn? What? What time to wake up on a free day?
Oh.
That's it? That's a great guess.
Yeah.
But we just kind of wake up on our own. I mean, we don't have
well, as a kid, though, I remember if I had a day off, even on a Saturday, they'd be like, you had to be out of bed by 9 a.m. There was no reason why you should be sleeping past 9 a.m.
What are you doing?
And it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom had a very simple way to get you up. She would just vacuum. Oh. She would decide, I'm going to vacuum your room right now at 9:05.
It's the whole Hoover maneuver.
And I think she would practically open the door with the vacuum cleaner. Just be like, all right, I'm getting up.
Mary said U of M or Michigan State. Who's going to pick up the dog poop, the brand of toothpaste? Do you use the same toothpaste as your wife?
I use whatever the dentist gives us.
Hey, we're almost out of toothpaste. Time to get back to the dentist.
I guess I better go get a cleaning.
So none of this, a lot of great guesses, but none of them right.
Okay.
So the closest we came was who's going to do the laundry or doing the laundry correctly.
In that
clothing is involved.
Exactly.
So we threw that clue out there that think clothing, but not dirty laundry.
Right. So where do you put your non-dirty clothing?
Well, Rachel said leaving dirty socks and clothes on the floor or hung on doors. That's a good guess.
Right.
It's closer yet, but not right.
No.
However, Whitney says when to donate some of those old clothes.
Okay.
Like this one, for example. John's
No.
wife is saying, got to give that to Salvation
Never.
Army or make it a
Giving
rag.
up my John Lennon shirt. Sure, it's got holes in it, and
Yeah.
there's a stain over here that I can't get out.
You know,
but-
when you start seeing the skin through the hole, that's when you know it's time. Or if hairs are popping through,
Yeah.
that's when it's time to donate the shirt.
That is a moment. Like, oh, wait,
Ooh,
what's happening?
yeah.
Okay, well, that's done.
But finally, Dan the man,
Dan the man.
said closet space.
Okay.
Closet space.
Right. Again, I surrendered long ago. And just let me know.
Let me
know what section's
about it.
mine.
It's like, well, this is my
Yeah.
area. I just cram everything I can in there,
Right,
and
I just-
sometimes in drawers or underneath the
I mean,
bed.
we have a walk-in closet, and it's got three shelving,
You got
shelves.
three. Wow.
So
Yeah.
2.5 are
hers.
Are not mine.
Yeah.
This is your space right
So
here.
closet space.
Yeah.
The answer. So congratulations to Dan, the winner in trivia last night. He's going to see Guys and Dolls at the Brighton Center for the Performing Arts, the Brighton High School drama team.
Yeah, they always do a really good job.
Yes, they do.
They'll enjoy the show.
We'll have another question coming your way tonight. Rich joining us in just a little while for The Less You Know, Rich
Yeah,
Perlberg.
a couple minutes.
Do we want to tell people about what's coming up, or do we want to save
I
that?
guess we could.
You
yeah.
want to let the cat out of the bag?
I mean,
are you a cat releaser? And why is the cat in the bag?
how are
John?
you? Yeah, well, that's probably not a good story.
If you're half in the bag and the cat is in the bag,
well, then you're
what
really.
the hell is
then
going
you're
on?
in the bag. You're all the way in the bag. If you wake up in a bag and there's a cat in there, it's not good.
There could be jail time.
I mean, see, I think
Right,
the
so-
phrase "cat in the bag."
Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah,
Let the cat out of the
let
bag.
the cat out of the bag. But like, why is it in the bag?
Yeah. Why is the cat in the bag to begin with?
So
Was a secret one time called a cat?
I always thought that its origin was because people used to get rid of cats.
Oh, they put the cat in the bag.
Put a cat in the bag and, I mean, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that's
That's
I
where
think
it
that's
came
where
from.
the saying kind of came from.
origination. You got to get rid of this cat. Put it in the bag.
And then you let it out of the bag. So there's your
Take the
there's
cat
your
out of-
disturbing note for the day.
Take the
That's
cat
a new
outside.
segment here. John King's disturbing note of the day.
Drive by the dump and let the cat out of the bag.
All right. So to let the cat out of the bag that we're talking about with Rich Perlberg, here's a gentleman.
Easy for you to say. Okay.
But no, Rich has been, here in Livingston County for, more than half a century.
Wow, he's
and
old.
I'm
Why
sure,
do you have to
sure
let
he
that
appreciates
cat out of the bag?
my phrasing on that. But this is a guy that has the institutional memory to kind of know what was and how things came to be and, who the players were and sort of
Grand River. He was around when Grand River was a dirt road.
So, but we've invited Rich to, every week provide a commentary column on our Facebook page. And we'll be rolling that out. It'll just be called The Less You Know with Rich Perlberg. Go with what works. And I think we'll start seeing that on Sundays. And he'll sort of pick a different topic and kind of just wax poetic about it, I
So
guess.
we don't want you to be sitting around thinking, Rich is typing up his column, wearing one of those big robes that he stole from a hotel and a pair of slippers, sitting in his bed and typing on his computer.
Now, I like
Don't
that.
envision-
I like that visual now. And it's got to have the robe has to have
It's got a big collar.
Like it's got to have
Yeah.
the fluffy.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's Zsa Zsa Gabor's.
Oh, now you put him in a female robe.
And then there
He's
should
got a
be,
nightie
and there
on
should be
underneath.
champagne. And he's knocking back the
poor Rich.
champagne and
Really
there should be
giving
a
this column
there's gotta be a
credibility, aren't you,
typewriter.
John?
It's got to be a typewriter.
Yeah.
Ching.
Darn ribbon. Where's the correct to
Ching.
type? Just like the old days.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to let Rich know that that's how
Let's
he's
let
he's
Rich
been
know. I think we should
envisioned
do it.
on
Yeah,
that?
why don't we,
All right.
why don't we do that?
Hey, before we get to Rich and the Less You Know, we're brought to you by Jordan Genso, as we mentioned, the official Gigo Realtor. Jordan Genso with Remax Platinum, community servant, community realtor with over 15 years in the real estate industry as a part of the Genso team. They named the team after Jordan.
Yeah.
Or did he just make the team and said, I pick you, oh, no, you're crappy at kickball.
Well, it
You're
could
not on our team.
be in order to not be picked last. You create the team.
You make your own team.
That's right.
So it could be that. And we're going to get a Jorbit in just a few minutes. I don't know if that was one of them. But with his local knowledge and experience, he can provide you with the expertise you need when it comes to either buying or selling a home. Jordan Genso, and today our Jorbit
involves Jordan redrawing some lines.
He's got an Etch-a-Sketch.
Well, or helping that process. The district boundaries for the Livingston County Board of Commissioners get redrawn every 10 years, and back in 2011, Jordan served on the reapportionment committee tasked with redrawing those boundaries. A cartophile himself, and Mike, why don't you tell everyone what a cartophile is?
A cartophile is a guy who can do cartwheels
Exactly.
while carrying a file.
Nailed it.
A cartophile is somebody who can draw lines.
That's better.
He's better at Etch-a-Sketch than you are.
You're right. He's one of those guys that didn't have to.
Threw spirograph right out the door because he likes straighter lines.
But as a cartophile, Jordan was thrilled to indulge his love of maps during that process, just as he enjoys how his real estate career has him constantly working with maps when researching properties.
He's a triptych hoarder. A cartophile is a guy who likes maps.
Yeah, I think that's.
Is that what a cartophile?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that makes sense.
I can look it up.
Yeah, he's a mapologist.
I start now.
A maptist.
Cartophile.
You don't have to look it up. That's your Jorbit.
A person
for
with an
today.
interest in maps.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a very.
I thought that's
interesting
what
map.
it was. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Because once you gave your cartwheel with a file thing, I was like, well,
That
kind of makes sense.
doesn't it? All right, let's see what Rich is up to today. The less you know with Rich Perlberg, and now we have that vision in our heads. Trying to shake it out.
Uh-oh.
By the way, if you're
He's got to
looking
put down
for-
the champagne.
if you here's a mid.
He just spilled some on himself. Oh, dang it.
By the way, if you would like to talk to Jordan about his Jorbits or real estate, call 248-444-9777.
Well,
Hi, this is Rich.
Hi, Rich.
If you leave a message, I'll return your call as soon as possible.
you know what? I think
Thanks.
when we started making that
That analysis.
how we thought it might look, I think he was like, I'm just not going to take this call.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, let's try again.
Do you want me to do your old magic? Hang up and call back again. Don't leave him a message, kind of guy. All right.
Sometimes on the second,
Sometimes the third.
Today's Thursday, right?
It is Thursday.
I just want to make sure.
Let me check. Thursday
We're
the
like,
night.
wait, did we miss
We
something?
straightened the lamp. We've covered cartophiles. We might have to go to the 2-cent history.
This is not an auspicious beginning
know
for.
what? His columns can't.
You know-
You're gonna pull this?
All right, well,
All right.
that's
Rich will call us back if he.
Hi, this is
Hi,
Rich.
yeah, we know it's you, Rich. We're calling you. All right. Well, we'll see what happens
okay.
with Rich.
That's all we can do.
You know, there's been a lot of folks who have approached us either on social media or via our mailbox or. What a Podinsky! I'm in the middle of a pitch here.
Oh, bring him in.
All right. Good morning, Rich.
Hey, you make me skip a week and I forget how to use my phone.
Well, we were wondering.
Hold on
we
a
called
second.
twice.
You've reached Mike
I
and
know.
John. Got it going on. We're not available right now for Rich's call. So, how's it going, Rich?
Not so good, I guess. This is very strange. No, I mean just because I can't answer a phone. This is
I see.
this is beyond boomer time.
Well, I know. And you know what? John was just talking about your experience here in Livingston County and how long you've been a resident and know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Has it been a long time? I'm not sure I can remember.
I might have used the phrase
Old timer,
half a century.
geezer,
But I.
might have slipped in there. Oh god! It's a good thing I won't remember this.
But I phrased it in terms of you have the institutional memory.
Oh yeah.
Apparently
Apparently not. He forgot it was Thursday. It's time to chat with Pop Perlberg.
Can that be a new feature? Guess what day it is?
That's right. It's time for Rich Perlberg's acuity test.
Hey, I can name those. What was it that Trump named?
It was ball.
Women,
Whatever. I don't even remember.
ball,
So
orange. I forget. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Institutional memory. That's a very kind way of saying what an old fart. Yeah.
well, it's just.
We didn't go there. We were a little nicer about it.
So
Yeah.
we did let the cat out of the bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
That you're going to start.
That's a little bit. Does Peter know about that?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because we did look up the origin of cat out of the bag.
Oh,
It's
did
not-
you?
It's not.
Really?
It's not kind to cats.
Yeah, we don't
Surprise!
If the cat is in the bag, this is not a good deal for the cat.
There's not a good future, is there?
That's right. So, but
So you guys had the big reveal, huh?
Well, yeah. Are you going to do it?
this is
now
our
you
way
gotta
of
do it.
asking. Would you write a weekly commentary
By
for
the way,
us?
we've assigned you an assignment.
The pressure is really on me. You want to talk about not being up with any sort of a modicum of technological thing? John asked for a photo. I don't think I have one.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you?
Can I send an artist sketch from my last work?
Absolutely, you certainly can. Maybe send your high school graduation photo.
Oh man,
Look at that
That
hippie.
is
so
that's embarrassing. I'd rather be called an old fart.
Do we-
Pictures.
do we need to send a reminder on Friday that it's time to get the column ready for Sunday?
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. Can you send an automatic?
Ding! All right, so let's get to the less you know for today.
All right. Is that today?
Yes, today. So we're hoping to debut your column here, either this Sunday or next Sunday. I don't know if we had worked that out. So we'll just do it live here on the live stream.
Whenever you're ready.
Do you want me just to read it out
Coming
loud?
soon.
No. So, but today you had for your first column, you had an interesting topic on the completely non-controversial issue of COVID.
Yeah, I think I'd start out easy.
Right. So I think it's interesting. So people keep an eye out for that. I think it'll be could be a fascinating
Hey, can
discussion.
we have at the end of the column the coming up next? Stay tuned
Oh.
on next week's column sode.
Yeah.
Or whatever we're going to call it.
So you're assuming that I'm
Right.
gonna
You think we'll
plan
get
a
past
week
one?
Why
Plan
would
a
he
week
be any
ahead,
more
yeah.
better prepared than we are?
You know how many hours of prep go into
Oh
this?
yeah, I do actually.
It does seem like a well-oiled machine.
Oh, sure does. Anyway, but today we thought we would talk about something that's more out front here in the last week or so, and that is
Snow?
No, that's Elissa Slotkin announcing her run for U.S. Senate to get the Democratic nomination, which by all looks she's going to easily wrap up.
Well, yeah.
And
Totally.
and then who might take her on? I mean, the fact that Debbie Stabenow said she was not going to run, immediately the National Republican Senate Committee, they were like, all right, this is now a targeted seat. We think we can flip this. And anytime you get a Senate seat that opens up,
Was John James, was his name?
he already
thrown in there?
he's
already said no.
Yeah, he already said no.
He would have been a decent one, but he's already lost twice, and he just won that congressional race in which he kind of was had to move into the district in Macomb. So he's taken himself out. It's so you can see why Slotkin would have done this, especially with Stabenow's supposedly surprising step down, because she probably could have been reelected easily enough. But she's been there 24 years. She's 72, and these seats don't come open very often.
Well, 72 is a relative youngster.
Well, yeah, she's
in the Democratic Party.
chicken.
I mean, you got Dianne Feinstein, who I'm like, ay.
Oh, yeah.
And Biden's 80, isn't he? Or 80
Yeah, he's
something?
80.
Yeah.
And
then
but you're
I
right. U.S. senators, it's almost impossible to pick.
Well, no, I mean, in Michigan, they generally go 24 years or more,
Right.
And so if Slotkin didn't step up now, that window might not open again. And you look at her position, she was pretty much unknown in Michigan until 6 years ago, and now she seems to be the odds-on front winner to be a U.S. senator for maybe the next quarter century. And you can look at her position on that. She's raised incredible amounts of money to run 3 successive, very close competitive races here. So she's going to have a close race every 2 years, or she can be a senator for the next quarter century.
right. Yeah, that's a tough,
tough roll of the dice. So,
But is it fair? I'm sorry, but is it fair to just assume she's got it all wrapped up?
Well, right now it is, but this is early 2023. A lot can happen. I mean, the path seems very clear for the Democratic nomination. Everybody has stepped aside. Gilchrist, Benson, even Whitmer, and
Well, I noticed that she didn't make her announcement until I thought I think the key player that was in front of her was Gilchrist, the lieutenant governor. I know that I don't think that's a consensus pick as somebody that was going to be a favorite, but I think in terms of, because there's two races that are really here. The first race is the one to get the nomination. Yes. And then you can run for the seat. Right. And to get the nomination, I mean, the Democratic Party, of course, has a strong base in the African-American community. So someone like Gilchrist, if he had stood up and said, you know what, I think I'm going to run for this seat, that would have been difficult, I think, for Slotkin.
It would have been tough to take positions, except think about it. When has Detroit produced a statewide candidate that's won? I mean, they don't. Savannah, Whitmer, Blanchard.
I mean, outstater. Yeah.
Well, Blanchard's the closest, but he was suburban Detroit. Right. I mean, you just haven't had it. And Gilchrist isn't that well known, really.
Don't look that up because it's the less you know.
Oh, I'm
John.
sorry.
Don't bother.
All right, I'm gonna look and see the last time there was a Detroit.
I mean, Mike Duggan every once in a while was tossed around. I mean, Coleman Young never ran statewide, so you really don't have. You get a lot of votes out of Detroit, but you don't get statewide.
Maybe candidates. It was Richard Austin, who was the Secretary of State for all those years. I think he was from Detroit. I'm not quite sure, but I thought he was from Detroit. But that would be might be the last one, at least the one I can think of. But
and
either way, the point is
made. That's not a high profile. Yeah, we're not talking U.S. Senate or
right.
I mean, the one year when Stabenow was a candidate for governor in the Democratic primary, there were 4 Democrats, and I think they were all from Lansing. So
who do you think's going to take? Let's just assume
go to the Republican side.
On the Republican side, we were talking earlier about possibilities on who would run on that side. Now, Mike Rogers' name's been thrown out there. I think the Free Press did an article this past weekend, and his name might have been put out there.
Mike's name gets thrown out for just about everything, and he's in that great position where he never has to run anymore. He just is put as a position that his backers want to run. You know, it's so funny right now. There should be a lineup. I mean, this is an open Senate seat. It comes around once every quarter century, but the Republican Party in Michigan is such a hot mess right now that it's hard to see anybody who's going to come forward. I don't have any inside information on this at all. I don't see Mike as that likely a candidate. He'd have to raise a whole bunch of money. He wouldn't.
hey, old fart! Watch the language on this. I knew you were talking about a shipload of money.
Yeah, shipload. Yeah,
he just shipped his pants full of money.
And I don't know. I mean. Mike was a prolific fundraiser, but so was Slotkin. I mean, it'd be a race worth watching.
But do you even know if he wants to?
Right.
You know,
I mean, he's been talking. He's been visiting presidential states. Well, previously like Iowa, but he's been making moves that would make you think, oh, this might be someone who has ambitions for the White House. Although, as I mentioned before, there's really 2 races here. The first is to get the nomination. I do not see somebody like Mike Rogers having a chance at winning the Republican nomination currently. I mean, as the party is currently constituted.
Unless you can scare people out, and nobody else runs. I mean, another name that was been floated was Ruth Johnson, who was actually a pretty responsible Secretary of State and legislature. But I don't see her as a strong statewide candidate either. You know, I just.
Who is there's another name, and she's the previous Secretary of State.
Ruth Johnson?
No, not Ruth Johnson. I'm sorry. It was
Terry Lynn Land?
No, not her.
She was like one of the worst candidates ever.
Why am I? No, she's now the Macomb County Water Commissioner. Why is my brain?
Are you sure that's not Ruth Johnson?
No, she's still a state
I know
senator.
Who you're talking about.
No, that's a different Ruth Johnson. There's a Ruth Johnson who's in Macomb County, and she was Secretary of State for 8 years.
There's also a Ruth Johnson that works at the diner too.
No, it's.
I know who you're thinking of. I just can't think of her name.
Why is my brain? Well, because it's my brain.
She was Secretary of State, right?
Okay.
Candace Miller.
Yeah,
Candace Miller.
Oh, Candace Miller.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
who I was. Yeah.
Jeez, oh, peace. Yeah, maybe.
And I think when Candace Miller took the Water Resources Commissioner job in Macomb County, a lot of people were like, "Why would you do that?" Although that job is actually turned out to be a decent platform for her political ambitions, if she has any.
Well, she also cleared up a bunch of corruption in that.
Right.
It's a big, yeah, you're right.
So
good call.
You know, maybe that's somebody else that could.
I've learned something today.
I'm sorry. So these are names that are out there.
I haven't seen her name floated, but I think some
With all the flooding they've had, they probably should.
But the thing is, I don't know. Is that an elected position that she has?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Would she have to step down to run for the?
That I don't know, but I have no idea whether she's even interested in it or not. I think that there are. Look, you know, believe it or not, I have quite a few conservative and Republican friends who I often talk with and consult with. You
guys, now that there's no phone booths, where do you meet?
Exactly. Well, we meet in the bag with the cat, and there are a lot of Republicans, establishment and otherwise, who pretty much look at the current party structure and go, "Yikes," and have taken the point of view of, I think we'll take a step back. We'll let this. Whatever this is going to be happen.
This skirmish.
And then when it kind of all settles or collapses, whatever word you want to use, the adults will step back in and kind of take over. Now, I don't know that that's, what's going to happen or not. I'm just saying that there seems to be a consensus on that.
There's a hope that'll happen. You just don't know when. And there's a trend in probably more politics than just Michigan, where early on somebody's a big leader, and as you get closer to November, the gap closes. That didn't happen last election, when the statewide elections, when Whitmer and Benson and Nessel just cruised to victory. But it's likely that there's a number of people who are going to vote Republican and a number of Democrat, no matter what. So somebody could emerge, and hopefully, I would think. There is already a Republican announced, by the way, but I don't think she's much going to be a serious candidate.
No, whatever names are there,
the school board.
Yeah. Nikki Snyder.
Yeah.
She was one that lived in Dexter, and then she announced she was going to run for Congress. But when they said, "Hey, you don't actually live in the district," she said, "Well, if I win, I'll move in."
Yeah. Well, I mean, John James did the same thing.
There's a thing of how you say it and how you do it. That was the thing where it's the last thing you should. You're the only thing you should be saying is like, "Of course, I'm going to move into the district." But it was like, if I win, I'll think about it.
I'll be right on the fringe of the district. If the neighborhood's nice.
There's a spare room in a house that I could rent out.
Okay, sure.
There's a hardware store I'm living in the back of for 3 out of 5 weeks.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think. You got to believe for a Senate race, it's not going to be that much of a cakewalk. Slotkin's doing what she should,
right?
Trying to scare the bejesus out of anybody who's thinking of running.
And I think she did. It's hard for me to see any big name Democrat getting in the race.
Bouncers, you thinking of running?
Apparently, Slotkin is a mob boss.
They all got their.
But also the thing is, as much as Michigan goes back and forth in state races like governor, every 8 years they seem to switch parties. The U.S. senators from Michigan have been pretty much Democratic for over half a century. Spencer Abraham got in for like 6 years.
I think he did one term. Yeah.
There's a name I forgot about. Old Spencer.
Well, yeah, he's the guy who said he had a face made for radio. Yeah. I love that guy. But but Stabenow knocked him out, and that there was a guy named Bob Griffin when I was a young man, and who was the last long-term Republican. But since then, you've had the Carl Levins and Don Regals and Debbie Stabenow, for instance, and so. For whatever reason, the Senate races have gone to Democrats. So you've got that history too. I would say, if you make me bet today, it's got to be Slotkin. But there's a lot that can happen, and
time will tell.
Yes, and only time will tell. But I think to segue, the really interesting race now is with her announcing for the Senate, that leaves her House of Representatives seats open. And this race in Livingston County's history for over half a century has been a very interesting district.
Right. And so on the Republican side, former State Senator Tom Barrett was one of the first to announce that, yep, he was going to try and seek the seat again. And that wasn't a big surprise.
No, he would seem to be the odds-on early favorite, I would think.
He's offered to pack up her office. He's got a U-Haul waiting right outside.
Google 2 minutes in the truck.
But in terms of who would have the same, because as you noted earlier, Slotkin ran for this essentially the same district, whether it was the 8th or the 7th now.
Yeah.
A fairly conservative district, purplish, but one that had gone for Donald Trump and was able to win it by decent margins. I mean, it's close, but not not too close. So who else would have that ability on the Democratic side?
On the Democratic side, that's an issue. It's hard to build up a bench for something like this, and especially if you've got people who are in office and don't want to give it up for a race they might not win.
Right.
So I don't know who the Democrats have. I've seen Barb Byron's name floated. She's I think the county clerk in Ingham County.
Right.
And that would be,
and a former state lawmaker.
Yes. Well, and she that would be interesting because her mother Diane was the candidate who ran against Mike Rogers the first time Mike ran for Congress, and that was that razor thin, the closest race in the country, like under 100 votes. So there'd be a little bit of continuity there for her daughter to run for essentially the same district, but like you say, it's
right.
Probably leans a little bit Republican, and you've got Barrett already. Now, I think of the 3 races that Slotkin won, she beat Barrett by the largest margin, like 6%.
Absolutely, and I think along the lines of like with Nessel, I think you mentioned before, Nessel, Whitmer, and Benson winning by pretty decent margins in this last election.
Yes.
I think, in my opinion, but I think that there's data to back this up. I think it was because of the extreme nature of their opponents. For instance, Dana Nessel, honestly, that was the easiest pickoff for the Republicans, was to win that AG spot. She only won by a couple of percentage points to begin with. She had been very controversial. It was somebody that I think, but they put up like the worst candidate you possibly could.
And most people are going, who?
Well, and then they hear the guy talk, and he's just, and they go on and on about the stolen election, and they beat this dead horse, and I think that there's a lot of voters out there who are, the elusive,
well, it's clear the top of the ballot was a disaster. I mean, Barrett, to his credit, actually outperformed the top of the Republican ballot in his district by like 6 or 7 points.
But then still lost the job.
Still lost by 6
by the biggest margin she's won. So a lot to figure out here. But all right, well, we've determined nothing.
That's right,
and I think we've achieved our goal.
We found out who Candace Miller is.
We figured out who Candace Miller is.
By we, I mean you guys. I was about ready to go to the
a lot of jogging the memory there.
Yeah, trusty old Google.
Yeah, what was her name again? Yeah.
So
Candy Miller, and I've been confusing those two for a long time.
Okay. All right, so we will look for your weekly column here, The Less You Know with Rich Perlberg. We'll have that coming up here sooner or later
on our Facebook page.
Yeah, and so keep an eye on that. We'll talk about that more, and then
we'll catch up with you next Thursday, Rich. Thursday.
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 16th.
Are we switching days again? All right, guys. This has been fun. We ought to do this again sometime.
Let's think about it.
We'll think about it.
All right,
thanks.
Rich Perlberg. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
We'll talk to him next week, we think.
Okay, now, here we have a technical issue.
We do.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I don't know, but my laptop here is about to run out of battery. So I had it charged up overnight. No, so the problem with, and I just want to say, I hate Apple computers.
Can you hand me that thing you got over there?
That's cool.
You got I just want to show everybody what we got here.
Thank you. So here's what I'm going to do. So the only thing is I only have 2. Okay, thank you. I only have 2 ports into this stupid laptop that has everything running on it.
Going into port 2.
One of them is the camera.
Okay.
So I can unplug the camera. Okay. And then we keep the audio. The other is the audio. Now I got to plug in the power cord, which I'm wondering if it's not.
You know, we can just wrap up the show now if you want.
Let's wrap up the show.
Not before I get that nose hair. No.
Well, we got 4%.
Okay.
You know what? 2-minute huddle.
The 2-minute
2-minute offense.
2-minute
Let's
drill.
go.
Oh, now I
Time
got
for the 2-cent history lesson.
2-cent history lesson. Today is the 9th of March. I got to get back on my iPad now to get us the 2-cent history lesson. It's National Crab Meat Day.
All right.
National Meatball Day.
Okay.
And it's Panic Day.
Oh, my
Isn't
God.
that
Panic.
fun?
Run through the history.
Panic.
Let's go. We're about to run out of panic.
1562, in the city of Naples, kissing in public was banned and declared punishable by death.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? She's worth it. Albert Potts of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, received a patent for the mailbox on this date in 1858. It's his fault you get bills in the mail. A schoolboy's cartoon sketch won a contest in 1916 for the Planters Nut Company, the creation of Mr. Peanut. How many seconds do we have left?
We're keep
almost
going.
there.
Come on, let's
The
go.
first Ford Mustang rolled off the lot in 1964. The Jacksons TV show in 1977 on CBS was aired for the last time because it finished in the bottom of the ratings. You know why, John?
Why?
Because they weren't on ABC. That's your 2-cent history lesson. I edited so we can fit it.
That's okay. All right, don't forget Murphy's Family Auto. They do everything for you: tune-ups, brakes, expert electrical, computer diagnostics, wheel balancing, tires, shocks, suspension, batteries, air conditioning. Give them a call today, 517-552-3040, or go on murphysfamilyauto.com.
Thanks, FedEx.
That's it for us.
We'll
Bye.
get it there
We'll
tomorrow.
talk to you Friday, and hopefully I'll plug in my computer.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.